In 2019, Sudan's streets pulsed with revolution. Millions rose up, casting off the dictator Omar al-Bashir, daring to dream of democracy and peace. For a fleeting moment, hope seemed real. A transitional government promised a new dawn. But today, November 3rd, 2025, that hope is gone, swallowed by war. Since April 2023, Sudan has become the world's largest displacement crisis. Over 15 million people have fled their homes. Famine spreads, cities lie in ruins, more than 150,000 lives lost. Over half the population faces acute food insecurity. The promise of 2019 has been shattered by the very men meant to protect it. The world's attention has drifted elsewhere, but Sudan's suffering is relentless. This is not just a story of war. It's a warning about unchecked ambition, failed diplomacy, and the speed at which a nation can unravel. Ordinary people are trapped in a power struggle between two generals, their futures stolen. As the crisis deepens, the world looks away. For Sudan, this war is everything. It is their present and, without action, their inescapable future. The light of hope has faded, but the story is far from over. To understand Sudan's collapse, we return to 2019's uprising, a moment of unity that toppled Bashir but left a dangerous power vacuum. A fragile sovereign council emerged, led by two generals, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan of the army and Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, Hemedti, of the Rapid Support Forces. Their alliance was uneasy, built on convenience, not conviction. In October 2021, fearing civilian rule, they staged a coup, dissolving the transitional government and betraying the revolution. The main conflict integrating Hemedti's RSF into the army. For Burhan, it meant unity. For Hemedti, a threat to his power. Tensions exploded on April 15, 2023. RSF units attacked military sites in Khartoum. The army struck back. The generals' rivalry became a national war, turning the revolution's promise into betrayal. The people's dreams for peace and democracy were crushed by the very men who claimed to protect them. Sudan's future was hijacked by ambition and greed. The guns once pointed at a dictator now target the people. The revolution was betrayed, and Sudan descended into chaos. War spread from Khartoum like wildfire, turning cities into battlegrounds and hospitals into ruins. Doctors worked without supplies, risking their lives to save others as the healthcare system collapsed. Millions faced an impossible choice: stay and risk death, or flee into danger. Checkpoints, violence, and hunger stalked every road. Women and girls suffered most, targeted by sexual violence. The state crumbled, banks failed, farms were abandoned, and food became a weapon. In besieged cities, people ate leaves to survive. Disease swept through crowded camps. Aid was blocked, kitchens shut down, and starvation became a deliberate tactic. The war is fought with bullets and with hunger, leaving society in ruins. Sudan's catastrophe is not just destruction, it's the collapse of everything that sustains life. Behind the numbers are real people, stories of survival, loss, and resilience. A mother in Khartoum hid with her children for days, fleeing only when food ran out, risking everything for their lives. Doctors in makeshift clinics work for days without rest, forced to choose who lives and who dies. In displacement camps, families endure hunger and trauma. A former teacher's daughter, once talkative, now only draws pictures of bombs. In famine zones, people survive on animal fodder and leaves, watching neighbors waste away. These stories are not rare, they are the reality for millions. Civilians are not just caught in the crossfire, they are targets in a man-made disaster. The scars, physical and psychological, will last for generations. These voices must not be lost in the noise of war. Sudan's nightmare is lived every day by its people. Nowhere is the horror more acute than Darfur, a region haunted by memories of past genocide. The Janjaweed, now Hemedti's RSF, have returned, unleashing mass killings and ethnic cleansing, especially against the Masalit. Towns are burned, Survivors speak of streets filled with corpses, and the world's promises of never again ring hollow. In January 2025, the US declared a new genocide in Darfur. The fall of al-Fashir marked a turning point. 1,500 civilians killed in 2 days. The RSF now controls Darfur, a territory the size of France, with impunity. The International Criminal Court warns of new war crimes, but for Darfuris, terror is daily reality. With the army gone, no one is left to protect them. The world's failure to act is a stain on its conscience and a death sentence for Darfur. Sudan is now a fractured land carved up by warring factions. The RSF controls Darfur, parts of Kordofan and swaths of Khartoum. The army holds the north, east and Port Sudan. Front lines shift constantly, making aid delivery nearly impossible. Peace talks have failed. The generals seek only victory, not peace. The crisis spills across borders. Chad, South Sudan and Egypt are overwhelmed by refugees. Chad, among the world's poorest, now hosts over 1 million Sudanese. The refugee crisis threatens regional stability, turning humanitarian disaster into a security threat. Foreign powers fuel the conflict. Egypt backs the army, the UAE is accused of arming the RSF. External meddling keeps the war alive, trapping Sudan's people in a web of rivalries. The nation's agony is now a regional crisis. Sudan's tragedy is deepened by the world's silence. Initial outrage faded, global attention shifted elsewhere. Diplomatic efforts have failed, sanctions are weak, and humanitarian aid is desperately underfunded. The declaration of genocide brought no real action. Sudan's economy has collapsed, and millions are left destitute. Many Sudanese feel their suffering is ignored, valued less than other crises. The international community's failure is not just neglect, it is complicity. The silence is deafening and deadly. Amid collapse, Sudanese resilience endures. Grassroots groups, emergency response rooms, organize food, document abuses and protect communities. Women's organizations run makeshift schools and safe houses, offering hope and healing. These networks are the last line of defense, defying warlords with acts of solidarity. Ordinary people are saving each other, one meal, one lesson, one act of kindness at a time. Their courage is a quiet rebellion, a testament to humanity's endurance. While leaders fight for power, the people fight for survival and dignity. In the darkest times, community is Sudan's greatest hope. Sudan stands on the brink of collapse. War, famine and genocide threaten its very existence. The fall of al-Fashir has handed Darfur to forces accused of atrocities, while millions starve and flee. The world's attention has moved on, but Sudan's struggle continues. Yet the resilience of its people, the volunteers, doctors, teachers, shows the nation's spirit is not dead. Their fight is for survival, dignity, and the soul of Sudan. The world must not give up on them. Action is needed. Stop the flow of weapons, hold warlords accountable, fund humanitarian aid, and support civilian groups. Sudan's story is a test of our shared humanity, a test we are failing, but not beyond redemption. We must not forget the dreams of 2019, the people of Darfur, or the millions displaced. Their war is not over, and neither is our responsibility. The world must not look away. We must not forget Sudan.